So hypocrisy aside, lies aside, all of that, they're going to nominate someone to replace Ruth Bader Ginsburg. They're probably going to do it this week. Trump says by Friday and Saturday, could be earlier than that. So that is going to happen. So we turn then to what can be done to stop that, which I think we all agree kind of has to be stopped for this exercise of pseudo democracy that we have to sort of have any meaning whatsoever, aside from it just being sort of like a TV show that we're all in. Well, Senator Chuck Schumer says, let me be clear, if Leader McConnell and Senate Republicans move forward with this, then nothing is off the table for next year. Nothing is off the table. Francesca, that quote is from Chuck Schumer. Is nothing off the table next year if they go forward, which they're definitely going to?
Usually that means we're about to invade a country. Wait, I don't know which one. I'm like, are we going into Iran?
Democracy, so. So basically what I want to know is he our champion? Will he do whatever it takes to fix this?
Not unless we push him. No, he's not. He's definitely not the face of the resistance. He tries to be, but we have to push him. I think Schumer, as uninspiring as he is pushable and has shown that he has been pushed and pulled to a little bit incrementally more to the progressive side. But let's make good on it. If Biden wins in November, if he doesn't and we take the Senate in November, Democrats take the Senate, let's have him make good on that. All right.
Yeah.
Biden's whole, it's all gonna go back to normal. No one's going to, give up anything. Oh, there's gonna be an epiphany with Republicans. Okay, you watch what kind of epiphany there's going to be.
Yeah, and as I apologize, I missed the name, but someone in the chat plucked out a very important bit of that quote, which is nothing is off the table for next year. Yeah, like 3+ months of this year. What the hell are you talking about? They're not doing it next year, they're doing it this year. So you're effectively telling me, oh no, something's coming, eventually, a long time from now. Wait, no, what are you doing now, okay? My God, we cannot get him to be primaried by AOC quickly enough. How did these people end up as leaders? I mean, we know all of it, but Jesus, the weakness, they are just sacks of weakness that are occasionally propped up in front of a microphone. That's all it is. So let's talk about what can be done. Okay, they're going to put someone forward. So I've got a couple different layers of this. Let's evaluate how likely it is to work. So first of all, it's getting Republicans to do the right thing. We've got Lisa Murkowski, who said before the news that she wouldn't support confirming anyone until the election. After the news, she said, my position has not changed. Okay, so that's one. You got Susan Collins, says the decision on a lifetime appointment to the Supreme Court should be made by the president who is elected on November 3rd. So she's against it. Mitt Romney hasn't yet commented on when he thinks a vote should happen. The issue is that even if Mitt Romney decides to do the right thing, that's 3 votes. The Democrats still need an additional one. And I don't know who that Republican is supposed to be. I mean, there's dozens who have said that they would not support this, but they're not gonna do it. Rubio is not going to suddenly do the right thing, right?
No, and we all know who the tie-breaking vote is. Mr. I hope there are locusts in 2020 himself. Mr. I think women should be placed in a box when they menstruate. Mr. I cannot be in a room without my wife present if there's another menstruator. I'm doing a Mike Pence.
Oh no, I got it, and it will haunt me from now on. Okay, so yeah, hypothetically, enough could cross over. Can't really see that happening. Okay, so delaying, just requiring votes on literally everything that happens. Maybe pointing out, hey, we're in a pandemic still. Over 200,000 people have died. You guys don't care? No, nothing. You don't care. You passed legislation 5.5 months ago to give people $1,000. That's it. Hypothetically, you could try to draw it out with delays and everything. It doesn't yet seem like that could possibly work. There's been talk about impeaching him or impeaching Barr again. From what I have read, that is not necessarily enough, even if it were to happen, which it probably won't, to stop them from doing this before the election, let alone after the election. Because then there's obviously a couple more months, and there's various wrinkles of like when special elections will end and who will come in and all of this stuff. We're still talking about a couple of months. So I don't know about the blocking strategy.
Chain yourself to the podium. Don't leave the Senate floor. Just do it. Sit in, make noise, get some, metal drums together and create your own Senate stomp version. Like whatever you have to do it. And it is upsetting. It is upsetting because the play, and John, I know we're gonna talk about, but the play, and maybe this is what Senator Schumer was talking about, the play to, well, let's expand the court, let's stack the court. Do you realize what a fight that is going to be? Do you realize how hard that is going to be? And yet, I would argue that that might be kind of the fight of our lives. We have vastly regressed, sadly, from. And I'm not saying that Medicare for all and a Green New Deal are not still possible in our lifetimes, but I'm also saying that we are in a highly anti-democratic fascist moment, and getting control of our democracy is sadly the fight that we didn't think was going to have to define this next decade, but it will. And this is not going away. So again, these are the rights, these are reproductive rights. This is the difference between women living and dying when they need, and non-women who need abortions, right? This is the difference between whether or not trans youth are victimized and are homeless and can't get jobs, right? This is real stuff here. This is the difference when it comes to immigration rights, right? Whether or not asylum is even legal anymore in this country, it's already been chipped away. And again, I know a lot of people are like, well, all that stuff is, abortion rights have been chipped away on the state level. But Roe v. Wade is still the law of the land. And it is, again, still a majority position that we should support reproductive rights. We are being taken for by a cabal of Christian nationalist authoritarians, and we need to take it back.
Yeah, exactly. It was already going to be difficult to have any sort of legislation on the level that would be required to address the climate crisis. It was already going to be difficult to get that through the Supreme Court because it's going to be challenged. Now, forget about it. Forget entirely about it. So in terms of the future of our planet, like vis-a-vis America, forget about it if they get this seat. I mean, how many different things? Literally every Medicare for all. You think that it's going to make it through a supermajority conservative court? Like I'm talking about literally every progressive priority for literally decades will have no chance whatsoever of lasting more than a year or two effectively. And I don't think that people understand that. This is what we were saying during 2016, that these are not fun and games. These aren't like, hey, like we can try something and like maybe it'll work. No, we're talking about literally kneecapping the left, everything, the centrists as well. Entirely for literally decades. They're talking about people to take this spot. One of the individuals is 38 years old, okay? They will be on the court for decades and decades and decades, ruling on thousands and thousands of cases. And we, unfortunately, in terms of our media, have a lot of people who are fundamentally not serious about literally any of this. So here's the thing. You've talked about the stakes. In terms of the court, are 100% right. Roe v. Wade will just be gone. I don't even know if they want to, because they definitely like campaigning on getting rid of it more than actually getting rid of it. But they'll eventually it'll just be too difficult not to when they have 6 votes to do it. So the options we've talked about so far are what I class as relatively simple, okay? Beyond that, you have things like Francesca said, expanding the court, making the threat to make DC or Puerto Rico states. Those are things. I'm totally fine with the states. In terms of the court, I don't like the idea of expanding the court, okay? Because it's not a permanent solution. Hypothetically, they could just then do it again. That's always been my concern about it. The issue is that, while I have always considered myself to be a progressive, I've never been the crazy radical that they probably would think that I am. But do you get what we're facing now? We don't get to not have radical solutions when they've pushed us to this point. when they fundamentally have no principles whatsoever. And again, it's just power is power. When we're facing the structural obstacles that I was talking about earlier, we could do multiple shows about how biased the political system is towards always giving more power to Republicans. The very nature of the Senate, for instance, the fact that the nature of the Senate then produces a fundamentally conservative Supreme Court. The fact that Republicans nationally don't have to win elections anymore. They just don't, and they often can't. Like 4 out of 5 of the current Republican justices were put on the Supreme Court by Republicans that lost the vote. We can't even win when we win anymore. And even if we were to win, you have the things like California has millions and millions and millions of more people than any other state. We still have 2 senators, and that's just the way it's going to be. Combining that with the voter suppression of a million different forms, with the gerrymandering and all of this, we need to safeguard democracy. If we can, while we can, because the other party is attacking it openly, nonstop. And so if that means expanding the court, if that means adding additional states, whatever needs to be done to produce something that at least is like something, it's a version of democracy, because what we have now is fundamentally inadequate in the face of this, as you've pointed out, Christian white nationalist fascist assault that we have right now, that they're 100% on board with. And so I don't know what else we can do, but there's nothing that, like, forget what Schumer said. Everything does have to be on the table, and he needs to be replaced so they'll actually use the things that are on the table.
Yes, I mean, everyone can absolutely call their senators and call other senators. Look, I spent a long time calling like Susan Collins's like random main branch attended by like 3 staffers who had no idea what I was talking about. It was great. I encourage you, don't call the main line. The main line's busy. Call the weird, like, the offline. Call the small town Susan Collins outpost, the Murkowski outpost. I mean, look, I think the one, John, it's all very bleak. But we can, I think we can take action, and we need to. The one silver lining may be around the 2018 midterms and the fact that we saw town halls packed when it was shown, when Republicans were basically intimated that they were going to repeal the ACA. Maybe the ACA can be saved, because it is popular. It actually is popular as much as I'm being gouged for these premiums. So that maybe on certain levels, we can make progress, but it is very much this, 2 steps forward, 1 step back type of treadmill here. Agreed.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.